Whenever you say the word Chucky, it just gets me hot. What am I thinking?
I know.
Do you love the movies? Did you love the search for the perfect rental on a Friday night? Have you enjoyed the new version of this, searching through countless streaming services for the perfect movie as well? I know we do. Welcome to Mike and Anthony's Soda Pop Culture Club. Me, Mike, along with my co-host, Anthony.
Heidi ho, ha, ha, ha.
Oh, man, bring our take on a classic movie every Monday from the 80s, 90s, and beyond, during which we will play the game and open up a six-pack of favorite scenes. We also point out a couple generic scenes as well. At the end of the show, we will rate the movie 1 to 24 cans. 1 can is getting Chucky for your birthday, and 24 cans is living forever as a My Buddy toy. I guess that would be awesome.
I think I would reverse that completely.
Oh. Okay.
For me, my scale would be completely reversed. 24, okay. You get Chucky.
But before we get to all that, we want to let you know we want to do movies suggested by our listeners, and there's only 2 ways to do this. One is join the Patreon. If you suggest it there, we'll get to it. Promise about that. And the other is, if you want us to do a movie, you can do a fast pass and send us $25 to our Venmo or PayPal at Soda Pop Culture Club. And technically, we have a third way, right? Technically, we do, because you can suggest a movie, because we do have a website. Yep. SodaPopCultureClub.com, where you can buy some merch and make those movie suggestions and see our schedule.
A fourth way, if you manage to find a way to turn Mike into a plastic doll for the rest of his life with no dick, I'll do any movie you want.
That's
his dream.
I believe Chucky has sex in like The Bride of Chucky.
And I still don't buy that shit because...
And he has the Seed of Chucky? There's the movie, The Seed of Chucky?
I know. Okay. Give me a break. What are we doing here? Like,
we're doing the first one. I'm not.
Good guy dolls do not have PPs.
You don't know that. We'll get into that. A couple more things. Don't forget to share the show with your friends. Check out our Instagram at Mike and Anthony, where we post tasteful pics of Anthony's feet, reenacting famous scenes from movies. It's pretty awesome. I think you should check it out. And we also try to post things that go along with the movies we do, because, that's how we are. And finally, we need you to go to Apple Podcasts and hit us up for a 5-star, any star review and a comment. It would be super duper awesome, and it helps us grow the show on that platform. So, what say you?
Say me. Say you. I'll be your friend.
Say it always in a trailer? Is that what you want me to do?
I'm your friend to the end. And the end is now, bitch.
Here you go. I got your trailer, man.
Something has moved in with the Barney family. And so has terror. Child's Play. You wish it was only make-believe. Rated R. Starts Wednesday, November 9th at a theater near you.
Short and sweet trailer.
Yes. That same guy doing the voice. I don't even know his name. But they always did horror movie previews back in the day.
Shouldn't you be the guy who does know that, because you're like the...
I should be the guy who knows a lot of things, but I don't.
That's your wife talking. I mean, that's
me talking.
Oh, okay.
I've got a brain the size of a good guy doll.
Well, the thing with that is the brain. I don't know how the brain works on the good guy.
I'm sure my wife would be perfectly happy if she could stick a fucking Teddy Ruxpin tape in my back and I just say what she
wants you to.
We have that. So this is literally like, I mean, is this like did they get this idea from Teddy Ruxpin?
We'll get into that here because we got to play the game. But I will say this real quick. The idea most likely did come from that and My Buddy. I was just saying, like, they had the little, they tried the little Rainbow Bright doll for girls.
Yeah.
And like they thought that was cool. So they introduced the My Buddy, and obviously Chucky looks suspiciously like My Buddy, but talks. Right. That's the biggest difference. So,
yes.
Yeah. So anyways, let's get into the game. Buddy Ruxpin.
That's going to be my new porn stage name.
Oh, Buddy Ruxpin. All
Buddy
right. I
Ruxpin.
see. That's a good porn name.
I'm telling
I
you.
guess. Yeah.
See, I don't have these ideas during the episode I need them for when we did Boogie Nights. It just
Yeah.
comes to again, small brain.
Small brain, big dick. Buddy Ruxpin. Buddy Ruxpin.
He poses any way you want.
All right, we're going to play the game. And the game, as you may know, is where I'm going to read 3 reviews. 2 of them are real. 1 of them is fake. Anthony has to guess the fake review, and you two can play along and see if you can beat me at this game, or I can beat you. Do I really win if I'm the guy who orchestrates the game? I don't know.
There's no winners. There's
does
no
Monopoly,
winners
does the creator of Monopoly win every time a game gets given up on? Because most do. Because you know how people just quit because they can't finish a game of Monopoly. They just can't do it. So
the creator of Monopoly won every time somebody bought the fucking game. That's all.
Actually, the creator of Monopoly, just aside here, was a lady who created it, and it was not a capitalist game. It was actually a game where you just went around, and when you landed on space, you could say, I have it, and no one spent any money. It was actually meant to be a nice game to teach people how to coexist. And, you know...
And we are just not that type of people.
And that is not what we wanted. That's how we want. So let's get back to the game. So the game, here we go. Are you ready?
I guess so.
I have Felix Vasquez Jr., cinema crazed. Never really amounts to a great horror movie. Eden Gross of the Memphis Gazette. This movie created a whole new genre. Nigel Andrews, Financial Times. A rip-roaring, low-budget screamer.
Oh, God. Okay. I got to say, the first one, I think, I know you did a name or something because you always fucking do, but I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm wrong, but I have to go with the third one.
Okay. And why did you say the third one again?
Well, the Nigel Andrews sounded familiar. It could be wrong, but also the Financial Times. Why are they reviewing a horror movie? I don't know.
I would agree. Why would they do that? But they did.
Okay.
They did. That was the fucking Financial Times. No, mine is number 2, Eden Gross of the Memphis Gazette. This movie created a whole new genre, which that is my review, kind of, in a way.
Yeah.
Kind of did create a whole new weird-ass...
The scary doll shit.
But no, because you got to think there was the doll. Yeah, there's dolls. But it created it in a way that was live action. That's kind of what it did. The live action doll. Not just sitting there creepy in a room and someone ends up dead and they come back and the doll's not moving, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely its own thing, as you'd like to say. All right. Do you have all your shit? Do you have your by the numbers?
I got my shit.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Pull it up here. Hold on. There we go.
There
we go. I got it. Yeah. I'm prepared. It was just on a different fucking window. Dick.
On the server.
You dickless doll. All right. Directed by Tom Holland. Just saying. That's his name.
Yeah. Tom Holland of Spider-Man fame.
And starring Alex Vincent, Catherine Hicks, Chris Sarandon, Dina Manoff, Brad Dourif, and Ed Gale. Child's Play was released on November 9th, 1988, taking in $44.2 million at the box office against a $9 to $13 million budget. It gives a range. Reportedly a $9 million production budget, and I'm assuming possibly an extra $4 million for on-set acting lessons for Andy, which were a total waste anyways. It scores 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb and 71% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay. That is you know, it's interesting how this movie has created that franchise with those types of numbers. You know, it's not like it's...
I got $44 million in 1988 for a horror movie is actually pretty damn good.
That's strong. That's
strong.
Very
your screen, by the way, is still blacked out.
Well, you know why?
I'm just letting you know.
Because I don't need you looking at me.
I don't know what.
You just jerk off to my vision, my image. That's why I don't let you see it.
You're the one that covered your screen, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, true. Maybe I'm... Hey, you know... whenever you say the word Chucky, it just gets me hot. What am I thinking?
I know. I know what you're thinking.
So yeah, I want to get back to you asked about the Teddy Ruxpin and stuff. The fact is, it really was inspired by my buddy. I was just checking something out, But I didn't even think about the Cabbage Patch Kid craze, kind of also, because every kid had to have one type of
Oh
thing,
God.
and and so
Well, and that's funny too, though, because it does reflect on that the kid craze with the new toy.
Yeah.
What's out at the time, and like you've got, and even up till we've had these psychotic fucking waves all the time. Furbies, Beanie Baby craze. That was more for adults actually because they got whacked out with that shit. But all the toys, as soon as they you've got your run. Every
Yeah.
kid wants one. Nobody can find them in the stores because of that supply and demand shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nuts.
It is.
But I like, and I still want to get a Chucky doll because you can get the replicas now. It's Spirit Halloween, and it's that time of year.
I get it. Or if you can dress your kid up as Chucky, because he's at that age.
Yeah,
where he could be almost that small. He's a little tall.
I'm not doing that.
No. I mean, I know.
It's one of those things. It's been done too much. Plus, he's never seen the film. He's still too young for that. We're not.
Do you think
there.
so? Do you think we're gonna get into this movie? Do you think this movie is really that bad though?
I think yeah.
This movie
for a kid to watch, yes.
Okay, whatever. I don't know. I
look, it can scar you for life against your teddies. Then
I don't know. This one did not. Yeah, I mean, I watched this one originally. You know how I am with horror movies. I got to put that out there.
Yeah, I watched it. Obviously, I watched all this stuff when I was a kid because, I grew up in a different time where people didn't think you'd get warped from such stuff. And turns out I'm living proof that you do.
Yeah.
So again, that's why for me, knowing how I turned out, no, I do not want my son to watch Child's Play yet.
Okay.
I mean, I want him to, but I don't want him to.
So, what is the plot of Child's Play? Tell people what that is so we can get into this.
I will throw in, I might let him dress up as Gage. I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
From Pet Sematary. We have, again, like we mentioned, the good guy doll craze. Every kid wants one. Andy's got a single mom raising them. He makes her breakfast in bed very badly on his birthday. He's pissed off because he didn't get a good guy doll because he thought the big box was good guy doll, and turns out it's a fucking pair of pants, which I'm sorry. She did a horrible job wrapping that. That box was way too big for the clothes in it. And are you kidding me? Why are you going to lead your son to take a good guy doll? That's a parenting fail.
Parenting fail number one. We can hit these in, and they're not even new pants. And they're not even
same size as a goddamn good guy doll box, and you're going to put clothes in there.
Yeah, that's don't get the kids' hopes up.
Don't do that. Don't put something a kid doesn't want, just something they need, in the biggest fucking gift box. So anyways, she finds out that she could score a doll. It got lifted from Burnout Toy Store, which we find out later is actually possessed by Charles Lee Ray, a notorious killer.
Yeah.
And Andy gets the doll on the cheap, doesn't know it. Doll starts fucking with people, killing people, and they think it's Andy.
And mayhem ensues.
The police got to get involved. Andy's just like, I just want to go to sleep with Chucky every night.
So the way this movie starts out, you're talking about, what's his name? The Earl Ray guy?
Lee Ray.
Lee Ray, yeah. I keep thinking James Earl Ray because he's like a killer. But at the beginning of the movie, he's called
Rays. It gets confusing.
They call him the Strangler, which makes me think he's a serial killer, right?
Full-side Strangler.
Yeah, but he had an accomplice, and most serial killers don't have accomplices, so I was really confused as to what really was happening to start this movie, that they were chasing him with another person who's an accomplice. It's like really weird, if you ask me.
His body buddy.
I guess his body buddy. It's you.
There you go. We finally come full circle.
You are the body buddy. Of course, the kind of body buddy he was looking for was not
my body buddy and me.
But what's really confusing about the beginning of this is you don't understand what's happening, because you don't know why they're chasing him, because he's called the Strangler, but he has an accomplice. And then when he gets in the thing, he does this magic trick, and all of a sudden, Yeah, you don't really understand. It's like it feels like it's out of nowhere.
Well, still, it's some voodoo shit going on. That's it.
I didn't know it was voodoo shit when I watched that.
What did you think
When
of
I
it?
watched that, I thought, "What the hell is he doing?" And he does some sort of thing,
Oh,
and
he's doing
then
that little toy.
until you get to the part later where he meets the voodoo guy, or we meet the voodoo guy. It's you didn't know it was voodoo. I
You
mean,
knew it was something.
well, yeah,
Hogwarts magic, whatever the fuck it was, you knew there was something going on there.
convenient. What if they never had the voodoo guy, but it was just a dude who knew some magic and getting the fucking doll?
No,
It's
let me tell you
very
something.
loose-ended.
You want to talk about what ifs? What if it had been a fucking Malibu Barbie doll that he got his hands on?
Oh shit! Would you, if just a question, if you were possessed into a Malibu Barbie doll, would you feel your own breasts? That's a question I have.
No,
Oh,
they're fake plastic.
and not the ones you want to feel the most, anyways.
You want to feel that?
You wanna feel the fake ones anyways?
Miami or some shit.
Don't you want to feel fake ones, anyways?
But they're fake hard plastic.
Well, you never know.
I mean, like, ooh, how about this? Now, different story. If you reincarnated yourself into one of those live action sex dolls that they make,
Oh shit!
there you go.
You know, this movie's remade now. Well, they did remake it, but I don't know how faithful it was. I didn't watch it.
I can tell you so. Well, I can't tell you that. I watched up through. I think Bride of Chucky was kind of where
You got out when Meg Tilly came in.
No, I love Meg Tilly in it. Meg Tilly is great. I did watch the remake TV series that just came out last year. That's good.
It is?
It is good.
I can see where this could be a TV series because it's got a kernel of an idea, and that's part of the good things and bad things about this movie is that the concept of a doll terrorizing and trying to frame a kid and everything with a slower burn and a better plot would be really good.
Which that's the thing with this TV series. It kind of does that better. So it is. That was really good. I feel like they've really hit it on a lot of these reboots that they're coming out with now. Ever since Cobra Kai, it just seems like people are finding the right formula for how to actually finally do it.
Yeah. Well, that's because we watched it back then. We're like, man, I wish this and I wish that. Mm-hmm. And basically some fanboy found out a way to get some wish fulfillment and get it made.
And there's still plenty of shitty reboots. It far outweighs the good ones.
Oh yeah. But the ones who get it right, you know, it's nice. But I could see a slow burn on this where the little Andy takes the doll to school and leaves it at school. And, you know, the principal wronged Andy, so he kills the principal.
Yep. I'd see that's your ride or die right there.
Yeah. That's why you want the doll, right?
Chucky did have some redeeming qualities. Let's just say that.
Yeah, yes, he did. All he really wanted to do was watch the 9 o'clock news, honestly. Man, yeah, this movie, when I watch it, I think it's more style than substance. That's what I'm really getting at, right? Like, I feel it has a great idea, but the substance of it is pretty weak. Like, the plot is,
The style is kind of weak, too. Come on. Again,
I meant the doll thing. You know, that's the style I'm looking at. Like, the way it tries to deliver a horror movie is great, but if you could have elevated that a little bit more,
it would have been better.
Yeah. That's my thing.
It's got... Yeah, like you said, it's a great idea, and obviously it became a franchise.
Yeah,
and which we've seen, you know, horror movies, and this is during the time. This is the 80s. You know, you've got your Friday the 13th, you've got your Nightmare on Elm Street, you've got your Hellraiser, you've got these franchise movies, and then you know this was the next one.
Yeah, it was the golden age of horror.
Halloween, we had all these, but it also was. Like we both said, I mean, it was a great idea for a different type of horror villain because you've got, when you look at all these other ones, you've got your adult villains.
They're all the same style, yeah.
This is an adult villain, but trapped in a toy with no dick. He
has a dick.
Doesn't have a dick.
Here's why it does, because remember when he goes to the voodoo guy says, the reason you bled when you got shot is
turning human, though. Yeah,
turning human.
At the time, though, he didn't have a dick.
Oh yeah. Well, he eventually gets a dick. Okay, just get over that.
No, I'm not, because you wouldn't know that either. If you put yourself in a doll, you think this is how I'm going to be.
Well, I would make one. I'd just stuff something in there, make it look like I had a dick.
Okay.
I'd sew a dick on me.
All right, you win. Good job. You
Anyways,
cracked the code.
identify as male. Now, if you identify as a woman, you make a slice in there or something. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm just saying. Just
We-
throw it out there if you want to make it anatomical to your gender
I
preference.
think we're done with this whole.
Gendering Chucky is a hard thing to do. Now, I will say, like I said, there is a certain charm to the movie. And that's what we talk about. The whole kernel of what makes it great is the doll manipulating the kid and trying to frame that kid for murder. I kind of appreciate that game a little bit. I mean, because no one's gonna believe a kid when they tell him the doll told me to do it, And I wish I could hear those conversations. Like, not just he does it later on, but the early on when he whispers in his ear. I'd like to hear what that sounded like.
Yeah.
Like, what's he telling the kid? Like, to get him to believe him? That's a weird ass. I mean, do you think kids are so impressionable enough that adults started talking to him that way? That's how they would react. What do you think about that? Because you have a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
Would he listen to his doll if it just started talking to him that way?
Probably. I know I would have.
Yeah, I
You would have too. I mean, think about that age. What is he?
Strangled it or something.
And he's like 7 or something.
I'd have killed it. Yeah, or a little bit, maybe. He has to be 5, 6, or 7. He can't be any older than first grade.
Right, exactly.
Maybe second if you're pushing it, because he's kind of an idiot.
Well, you saw in that classroom, that's first or second grade classroom.
Yeah, he's kind of an idiot. So, I know that's horrible, calling a kid an idiot. Isn't that awful?
We're not calling the kid, we're calling the character an idiot. That makes it okay.
Yeah. I want to talk about one of my 6-packs here. One of the, because one of the things about horror movies, and I know you love them, is you love kill scenes, right?
I do.
And I will say one of my 6-pack is the hammer to the eye.
That was mine too, yes. Because
you got that?
It was like the jump scare element of it.
Yeah.
But also there was the good guy hammer.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. To me, it was because it's the kid's toy that.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised it didn't stay in her skull and she fell with it down to the street. I guess he pulled it back. I guess he went like that and pulled it out. I mean,
yeah, because he's still
kind of came back out.
That's his murder weapon right now. He needs it.
Well, I mean, looks like he can murder with anything. The way that dude goes with it. But I love that kill.
But nobody's checking the toys.
No, nobody's checking the fucking toys.
I gotta ask though. I gotta question this fucking good guy hammer. They're selling this shit to little kids, and it can do that.
Yeah, that was and Chuck. Yeah, but now Chucky must have the weird voodoo strength, though.
It was a good guy hammer, right?
Yeah, it was a little hammer because he got the good guy toolbox to go. Remember,
right?
That's what he got for his birthday, not the doll originally.
Exactly. How'd you get away with selling that shit to kids? Look the damage it can do.
There's a lot of shit they sold to kids back then. That's
true. You know what? You're right. Never mind.
Go down a craft fair in 1984 and tell me you couldn't buy a Bowie knife.
Go down a craft fair today. I'm sure you can.
A Rambo style knife. Think about that. You could have went if you had $20. You could go up to a guy and get a knife as big as your arm.
Back in Crocodile Dundee on his ass.
I'm just saying, shit was different then. That's all I'm gonna say. Now there's a lot of weird things in this, but I want to go through 6-packs and things like that. Now for me, I like focusing on the kills. I said the hammer in the eye. Is there any other kills you like? Because you don't have any notes on here, so I have no clue what you're going to talk about.
I know you don't, and I like it that way.
Yeah.
So, like that was a great kill scene. My second 6-pack is the whole battery pack scene.
Oh, okay. I like that. Yeah.
Again, you get the freak out moment there. There's no batteries, and then his head turns around. I'm Chucky. Want to play? Love that.
You like that? Okay.
I love that.
And then she drops it, and it rolls under the couch.
Rolls under the couch. Yep.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah. And then the whole.
Did it?
I'm gonna throw you in the fire, stupid bitch! I'll fucking kill you.
Did you? Did it? I didn't realize before. I mean, I never noticed that was the mother from Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so weird, man. She spent a lot of years being a mom on there, and I was like, man, this lady feels so familiar. Like I've seen her a lot. My wife used to watch that stupid show, till it ended. So I was like, oh my god, it's the mother from Seventh Heaven. And then this Chris Sarandon guy, I never realized that's where Susan Sarandon got her name from.
Yep.
That they were married. So, but he's not as, you look at his IMDb or anything, he hasn't done a lot of great things, It's kind of strange. He's like, I'm surprised at how weak his IMDb is for how recognizable. Like, I look at him and I say, I mean, I've seen that guy before.
Well,
I can't think.
I don't know why you're not mentioning Aunt Maggie.
Which one's Aunt Maggie?
The one that got the hammer to the head.
Aunt Maggie and what?
Grease. She's Marty.
Oh,
I just blew your mind, didn't I?
I didn't even notice that. Well, that tells me where her career went.
Well, I actually, so she also, though, is funny because, I mean, other than Grease, I used to watch Empty Nest all the time, the TV show.
Oh, okay.
She was in that too.
I didn't watch that at all.
But yeah, you didn't realize that was her?
Didn't at all. I probably should have.
You should have. That's a fail on your part. Like, that's one I got to call you out on.
To be fair, I wasn't real aggressive on my research, so.
Okay, then I'm calling you out again because you're failing the audience too now.
I'm failing the audience. I'm sorry, but my memory of this movie is so fresh. I can at least talk about it and understand it. I want to ask this: when they take the kid away,
yeah,
and we see him back in his room, was that an actual fucking prison they put a kid in?
It's like a juvie.
I mean, but he's like a little boy. You can't think he's gonna kill somebody when you have him under 24-hour surveillance. You could put him in a normal room, right?
I don't know. We know that he's small. He can get around and under things. He's hard to keep track of, just like Chucky.
I guess.
So
can't swing a bat for shit. No. We did see that. He just hit it into the wall. Not very good at that.
They're like horror movie, but that's horror movies. We've seen this how many times? People don't take the shot when they need to, or they fail.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You get a swing and a miss. You get a love tap, and then you run away.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it's horror. That's what it is. It's just fucking horror.
This is horror movie month for us. It's October. So we're doing horror movies this month. We're gonna have plenty of these scenes to talk about.
Sure. But I want to talk about my favorite, one of my other 6-packs, and it's a favorite kill scene of mine, and that is the electrocution of the guy who was watching Andy. Was he going to electrocute Andy though? Because he was trying to remember. Because in the scene, he's like struck because Andy does something crazy, and he grabs him and puts him down. And I was wondering, is he about to electrocute him? What is he going to do to him?
No, he's looking out for Andy.
It was out. How did he get it on his head?
He's looking out for Andy right now. Remember?
I don't believe so. I kind of, because here's the thing: when that dude dies and gets electrocuted, I was kind of happy.
Yeah, he was an ass. That's
what I'm saying. I kind of thought he was going to do something to Andy that I don't know, drugs or something, because he struggle with him.
You think Chucky was going to murder Andy?
No. I think the doctor wasn't going to murder him, but he was going to give him some therapy.
I got you. Oh yeah.
With electroshock therapy, I thought he was going to do that.
I don't know about that, but
I don't know. It was out there. Obviously, he died with it, and so it was there.
Maybe that
where he was at.
Yeah, but maybe that's but they had it there. Doesn't mean that was the intent for him.
That's the way I pictured it. That's why I was very happy he died.
When you get interrogated by police, they have guns. It doesn't mean their intent is to shoot you.
You say that, but you live in this fucking world.
I do, but they don't intend to do it in the interrogation room, is what I'm saying.
No intent, but do they want to shoot you? That's the question. See, that's the
Depends on what you did.
They want to shoot you. I do know that. And I think the young little boy wasn't too distraught when the guy got electrocuted. That's my thoughts. Just throwing it out there.
Well, I mean, his aunt just got murdered. He's put in a cell. I mean, he's had some other shit going on at this point where I think he has gotten a little desensitized to it.
Yeah. he was a little desensitized to violence. Well, it that is crazy that a kid that little sees all that shit happen. I mean, and he knows who's doing it, but he can't stop it. That's kind of crazy. And then eventually to get the cops on your side is like insane. It's just an insane movie.
Yes, it is.
That's my thoughts on the movie. Anyways.
I mean, it's they did the best they could to make it work. You know.
Yeah.
Here's what we got. We got a My Buddy with a Teddy Ruxpin tape in his back. How are we going to make this work?
Let's see how
for
we
a horror movie.
Fuck these lives up. That does sound like that's how they did it. But who wrote it? It was Mancini. We're going to be doing Sleepaway Camp, and so now I have on
Hey, good job for a spoiler there.
Yeah, fuck them. Anyways, screenplay Don Mancini.
There you go, everybody. Fuck him. That's what he says to you people. You good people that listen to us.
Hey.
Like,
I meant fuck you, not them. I meant you.
No, you didn't. You said fuck him.
Don Mancini was the guy who wrote this, and then other people, like the director, made some changes and everything. And the whole plot line actually changed, and that's one of my generics on this. I'll just go into it. The mysterious power to possess a doll. It's convenient that it's voodoo. It seems like that's a trope, and that's kind of just easy way out.
I don't think so. Like, how many horror movies are based on voodoo?
Not horror, but in general, how many times you see movies where the guy has the voodoo doll and he stabs the voodoo doll? Happens in this movie.
Well, yeah.
It's just voodoo is a thing. I've seen it in other movies. I've seen it in a James Bond movie. I've seen it. Isn't it in Angel Heart? Too?
Everything is a trope.
True.
Everything in movies is a trope. I really think we got to even stop referencing tropes because everything's a fucking trope.
Well, no, I think a trope is when it's too conveniently used. When it's used well, I call it a remix. Like you said, oh, I took this idea and I remixed it and I made it better. Oh. Like you redid it in a way that elevated the trope.
I BASF that shit. I made it better.
Oh, that is an 80s reference if I've ever heard one.
Yes.
We don't make a lot of the products you buy. We make how much was that played that you and I know that?
Oh God, all the time.
Fucking A, man. Oh shit. We're indoctrinated into the BASF crowd, man. That's what it is.
We don't live it though. Because we don't make a lot of the podcasts you listen to. We barely make a podcast.
And I definitely know we don't make any other ones better.
Right. Well, by comparison, we might.
Well, yeah, there might be some. Yeah.
So, okay, you're welcome, other podcasts.
When people listen to us and then go listen to you, they say, fuck yeah, this is what I was looking for. That other shit.
We are the boyfriend with the tiny dick. Makes you
No.
It makes you appreciate the next one.
Anthony is the boyfriend with the tiny dick. That's what that is.
Plastic doll with no dick, so shut up.
Yeah, I get it.
All right.
So this the one thing this movie is missing but is a horror movie, so I don't know if it's missing it. But it was the love angle. I thought the cop and her would kind of get a thing, but it never really happened. But I don't know. Was I supposed to think they?
I think you were. So I kind of always assumed that watching it that was gonna be the case. But I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're that cop, are you really ready for stepfatherhood at this point? Is this a situation you want to walk into?
I don't know. Well, she's not bad, and her kid's not bad, and the doll was the problem. I don't know if I would blame them for that, but
I don't know.
He seems
the damn doll.
Yeah, he seems very into his job.
Yeah, so it might not work out because basically he'd still have an absent father.
Well, he'd still need the fucking doll. You saying?
Yeah, he'd still need the doll.
Yeah, I just thought that was something that was missing. Like, there's a lot missing in this movie to me. There's the beats in it are this could be a half-hour show.
Right.
because it's barely not even 90 minutes, is it?
This could be like Tales from the Dark Side or Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. There's a lot that could be, because there's just not much substance to this. It's like the whole plot could be explained and done in a half hour. That's why it's like really hard to think, whoa, I like this part here, but there's so much. Like I listened to another podcast. We talk about where you can go take a break and go pee during a movie. This is a lot of those. You can take a break and go pee right after the dude puts himself into the doll, and then you can come back and she got the doll, and giving it to the kid. Like, you could take a break all the way up until that point.
I mean, you could take a break from the time he gets himself in the doll to right before Aunt Maggie gets it with the hammer.
Yeah, that's it right there. And even then, after that, the real action doesn't start until the last 15 minutes of the movie. It's very drawn out, and that's one of my criticisms on that is it's just a little drawn out.
I gotta tell you, my other 6-pack.
Go ahead.
Is when the cop is getting strangled by Chucky. How he defends himself. Because guess what? If this movie takes place today, he's dead. Yeah. There's no cigarette lighter in that car.
Oh yeah, you're right. That is so true. Anymore, you wouldn't have that option. Hey,
he's gonna pull it out and stab him with a USB charger in the eye.
But he also wouldn't have to roll down his windows anymore. He could just push a button.
True story.
That was a luxury back then.
Oh yeah, crank windows.
No.
Power windows.
Windows. Crank windows were the norm. You tried to go really fast, so it looked like you had power windows. Yeah.
Oh man.
But there's a couple more things. I got some 6-packs. I'll go over 2 more. I have some 6-packs for a movie.
Too many 6-packs. Do you just want to change it to a 12-pack and be done?
Well, really, I think like I said, the charm of this movie is the doll, the angle. So for me, a 6-pack is the doll. Whenever it moves, talks, and kills, that is a 6-pack. Like, to see that happen is a great thing. That's the great part of the movie.
I get that, but you're missing the concept of the 6-pack. You have to choose your favorite 3. And then I choose my favorite 3. That makes 6.
Yeah.
You overindulgent bastard.
Well, this overindulgent bastard's gonna
you talk about I like this too, and this is really good. But these 3 are my half of the 6-pack. You do not follow directions for shit.
I want to ask you some questions, though.
Let's just call it a can of soda. Here's another can. Here's another can. See how many we drink today.
It's his Oprah. Everybody gets a can.
Everybody gets a fucking can.
So the end of this movie, when we get to the part where they're in her apartment, and they have the fights and all that, that is the best part of the movie. Really, that whole struggle. The doll kind of walking like a zombie and shooting it to pieces and
melted all the shit.
Trying to strangle the second cop.
I got a question too.
Yeah.
After this is all said and done, what do you think that fucking apartment smells like? Like, I mean, you're thinking, like, we're not talking dead body. We're talking dead toy body. So apparently we've got internal organs that are bleeding and rotting, melted plastic smell everywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is his hair starting to get real by then? Because burnt hair stinks like a bitch.
Oh, yeah, it's awful.
That smell has got to be god awful.
I would agree. So it has to be.
And Andy has probably shit his pants 4 times during this whole thing. So then we got poopy good guy undies on top of it.
Poopy good guy undies. But your good guy. Well, that's how they try to frame him for the first murder. Is he wore those good guy pajamas that had the booties on them because they match those fucking shoes. Prints. But they're not the same size. Okay. But my last 6-pack, and I know you hate my 6-packs, but this is the reason I go out to the ending.
I hate the amount of them because they're inaccurate at that point.
Yes. Okay. So, but this one you gotta like is when they put him into put Chucky into the fireplace, and little Andy has to light him on fire. And, friends to the end, remember, Andy? And he says, "This is the end, friend."
Yes.
And it burns him. But it wasn't the end. That's what fucking it's. It's like it wasn't the fucking end. At that point, we go to all the other shit we talked about. It's like, come on, man.
Now,
when does this movie end?
I'll tell you right now. Now, this is how I would do it because we both shared a 6-pack earlier. I said the hammer scene. So what I would do at this point to keep it even is I say, okay, well, I'll let you have that 6-pack, and I will then take this as another 6-pack.
Okay, that's what I'll do. That's what I did.
No, you didn't. You've already given 7.
Fuck you. I did that. Don't be an asshole.
I'm not. I'm trying to keep a format and a process alive, which we do not have.
Well, we kind of are keeping to it. So let's get to some. Like I said, I want to go to some of our generics. And like I said, I already talked about the voodoo, but I have another generic, and it is: was this movie scary enough? I don't think it was. I
disagree. I think in the 80s, yes, it was.
I don't know.
It was a new concept. No, looking back, I mean, there's a lot of things that you look back on. You're like, okay, no, that wasn't as funny as it was back then. I think it falls into that category. Because
what movies still scare you?
Here's the thing. Chucky has become, a joke, not in a bad way, but it's just kind of like that character. It's more like black comedy at this point. Like
how Friday the 13th had become and stuff. Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy became a jokester, that kind of thing. That's the route it took.
Yeah.
What still scares me? Nothing per se scares me, but as far as like The Stranger still would creep me out. It's in a good way.
We have an episode on that if you want to go back and listen to it. We did an episode.
The one horror like series that still, like, even as I got older, I'm like, that's still scary, was Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Hellraiser stayed scary, which I'm very excited actually about the reboot that they're doing right now.
Okay, there's a Hellraiser reboot. See, there you go. I don't know. See,
you don't know that?
No,
the Pinhead is female now.
Oh, well, of course. Now, see, I don't want to sound like a
I know what you're going to say and what you're going to sound like. So
yes, it sucks because everything that was made with the guy, we now have to remake it with the girl to right the wrongs of the past.
It's not.
Why not make a new character that's badass that is female that doesn't have to, like, you know what I mean?
I don't think it's to right the wrong. I think it's just a new take on it.
It's not a new take. It's a different sex.
And guess what? So Chucky, I'll give them props. Then they got it right earlier because then they brought in a female bad girl.
Yes, the bride of Chucky, seed of Chucky.
There you go. Good job, Chucky. Way to break down the barriers.
Now, there's a movie porn name you never want to have called Child's Play. That's bad. That's the Colonel would have that movie in his collection.
Oh, boy. Yes, that's correct.
When you think about movies that you could parody with porns, Child's Play is not one of them. Like, that's in my opinion, I mean, it just, if someone has, though, someone has, and that's so wrong. That's so wrong.
Let's move on.
I can't. Wait, you have no comment?
I'm not commenting on that because there's nothing to comment on because it's plain as fucking
So you think this was scary enough?
I mean, what's your definition of enough? Because, I grew up watching horror movies.
When you watched,
and a lot of them weren't scary. It was like more just
the first time you watched Friday the 13th when you were really young, and it was like one of the first ones you ever watched, or something like that. They had some of the jump scares that got you.
Well, the jump scares and stuff, like I said, I mean, the hammer, I think that was great. This, like, when you look at, you're looking at the totality of the movie because you said it should be a half-hour show.
Yeah, I guess.
I kind of get that, but it did have, like I said, some good tense parts. It had the tack hammer, the jump scare with that. You had the whole battery scene where she opens up and there's no batteries. He turns his head. Like, that was fantastic. That was really.
That's a good scene. Yes.
You know what I mean? So there were definitely some good scare scenes in it, for sure. I don't think. I would say overall there were some good kill scenes, but they do lack compared to a lot of other horror movies at the time.
Yeah, I think part of my I have a problem.
Some of it is you got to figure out how can we get a doll to fucking kill somebody? Because he's short, he's got limited options.
I think my problem is, and I don't know about you, my problem is that I don't believe in possession or demons or ghosts or anything. So when I watch a movie with shit like that, I look at it from the lens like, oh, okay. The doll just said so.
Somehow you believe in random dance sequences, like people fucking do that.
Well, yeah, they do actually. Because
No, they
we
don't.
go together like rama lama lama kadinga ding dong. Together forever. Do you know the song?
I do, because it's got that girl from Chucky in it.
Shoobop, shawada wada, yippity boom de boom. Chang chang, changity chang shabop.
It's got the girl from Chucky.
Yes, it does. The Grease Connection. That is awesome.
There's a porn name I could get behind.
The Grease Connection?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Is there anything else that you had that was generic or anything that
I'm going to give my one generic? Yes, it's Andy.
The kid? Why? Why the kid?
Are you fucking kidding me?
What's wrong with him? His acting, or
what's right with him?
He is a little weird. He toasted a scoop of butter.
Let's break this down here. Let's break this down. First of all, the acting is god awful for that child.
Okay.
It is. Wow. I could like be more entertained by a cardboard cutout of Tony the Tiger backwards. So all I see is the cardboard side.
Shit.
This is like, dude, okay. I knew it. I knew you'd get me one. Fuck me, dude. Really?
I think that's a director not getting enough out of the kid.
It's either a director not getting enough out of the kid or schools not teaching him how to talk or emote.
That's why I told you there's no way this kid's older than first. I would think first grade, the way he was acting, second grade would be a
or
stretch.
He's been held back a year or two.
Held back a year or two. Yeah.
No, but so, and also, like, I mean, when you're really looking at it for what it is, okay, so we have this kid who is, again, obsessed with the good guy, cultural phenomenon that's going on. Dressing up as a good guy morning, noon, and night. Which, there's just some things here. I'm sorry. It's like, you're watching this. Is when you watch it, when you're as a kid and stuff, you're paying attention to Chucky. But then when you really break this down, you're looking at this like, am I supposed to feel sympathy for this kid? Like, I don't know.
I don't really like him.
I don't really like him. So what the fuck do I really care? What's going on here?
Yeah. He's not. I would agree. He was kind of weak, but I chalk that up to being a horror movie, and horror movies don't generally get the best actors or
let me tell you something.
Performances. They're usually kind of cheesy.
As far as a well-played Andy with his doll, I would take Toy Story all day. That Andy was way more convincing and way better, and he was a fucking cartoon.
But he didn't know his dolls were alive. Isn't that creepy? Which one's creepier in that particular?
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
You're supposed to know your dolls are alive. Because then,
do you think Disney stole this?
Guess what? If you had found out his dolls were alive, we're going to have an ending just like Child's Play.
If you were the people who created Child's Play, would you think that Disney low-key kind of stole your idea?
Woody gets shot through the fucking heart at the end. That's what we would have had. Blood everywhere.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame.
And they're pulling on that drawstring. All of a sudden, head turns around. Hi, I'm Woody. Want to play? There's a snake in my boot.
There's a snake. There's a bullet in my chest.
So, yeah. Toy Story Andy and his doll, much more convincing.
I would agree. This that kid wasn't that great. And for a $9 to $13 million budget, probably could have done better. But they didn't use a lot of real kids in movies back then, like as much as this one was in it.
And I will say, he was not a real kid. He was faker than the doll.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but he was a real kid. He just didn't
No, I'm telling you, Chucky.
possess the qualities of a real kid.
No, when Chucky was just doing the Chucky Teddy Ruxpin pre-recorded voice, it was more realistic than Andy's acting.
I made you breakfast, Mom.
Exactly. I made you breakfast in bed. Sounds bigger than Chucky.
Would you have eaten that because it's your kid that made it?
No, I would do what she did. I'm going to eat this a little bit later. And then I'm not looking like, oh, it was delicious.
It was so delicious. You know, when I first looked at it, I didn't realize it was butter and burnt toast.
You didn't?
I thought, because I kind of wasn't paying attention for a moment. I thought, oh, you got a scoop of ice cream on it? That's kind of weird. But I realized later, oh, that's butter because I watched it the second time. So
better with butter.
Yeah, it's better with butter. All right. So what we're going to do now, let's get on to where you and I tell what our real feelings are and give a rating to this movie. Are you ready for this?
I am so ready for this.
So I'm going to think of, I thought about this. I'm not a big horror guy. It's just not my thing. This movie to me, it's not great. I like the concept way better than I like the execution of the movie. Like 10 times, like if you told me a doll comes to life, manipulates a kid and kills things, I'm all in to watch it. But then when I watch this movie, I'm like, this isn't, because the promise of that angle is way much greater than what it delivers in this movie. So for me, because I'm not a big horror guy and this didn't deliver what, like, to me, a horror, for me to give it a higher score, it has to make me more repulsed by it. And this wasn't that great. So I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Like, I give the idea a 24, but the execution was so bad and the acting was so bad, that kid's so bad, like you say, so many things detracted. It pulled it down to a 7, unfortunately.
So yeah, I pretty much agree completely with everything you said.
Wow.
Now, my love for horror movies, though, does make me score it quite a bit higher, because when you're talking, here's my thing with it. When you're talking, again, the golden age of horror movies that we had back then.
Yeah.
And to me, you're always going to get a good score for any of the major ones that started those franchises, any of the originals with the franchises they started. Now, I give this movie, would I give it more just because of Chucky himself? Because obviously the doll carried this fucking movie. And we all know this because it sure as hell wasn't the actors. But even with the plot being weak as shit and so much stuff you didn't need in it, so much stuff that you could have put in this movie to make it a lot better as a movie, the fact that like we were introduced to Chucky, like that was enough for me as far as what the movie offered me and what I got out of it. Because you're not watching it for this other shit. You're watching it for Chucky. You want to see him kill people.
Okay.
That's what he did. So for that, I give it 16 because I'll give it.
Wow.
And again, I'm with you though. There's a lot of reasons I could give it a 7.
Yeah.
I have my reasoning behind it is more about the horror villain in it rather than the movie itself.
Would you say it's the seed of the Chucky idea that that makes you excited?
No, I wouldn't, because it's just reaching. And
so what do we got there? When you put those two together,
I think we got honestly pretty much where it should be, 11.5.
Not
overall.
Not above average at all. Just below, slightly below average.
I mean, I think I would be comfortable with our combined score being in the midway 12-ish range. So yeah.
So what is new? What else have we thought is like meh? Not a lot. We do a lot of movies we like. That's the problem. We gotta do more movies we don't care.
For 11.5, we also have The Matrix Resurrections.
Yeah, I mean, it's a better movie when it comes to like stuff, but it has its issues. Yeah.
Now I'll tell you. So this is 12.5. Clue, which you scored 7 as well. I scored 18, but it's completely different high score for me for Clue than it is for Chucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Clue is one I'm pissed that you gave it a 7. Chucky, not so much.
Yeah, it's not a funny movie.
But yeah, we're at Road Trip is 10.625.
What did we give that?
10.625.
No, what did we give it?
I gave it a 10. You gave it 11 and a quarter.
Yeah, I thought it was a better movie than this one. Yeah.
Roadhouse is a 12 by both of us.
Oh, and what?
And Roadhouse is a 24 compared to this movie.
Hey, you know what?
So
but you got to think about it
everything
objectively.
in its own context.
Yeah.
Dick Tracy is 11 and a half.
I probably liked it just as much.
9 and 14 for me.
Yeah, I would say it seems about the same. Yes. I was not really.
Which I would agree with that because I would still probably rather watch Chucky than Dick Tracy.
I probably wouldn't watch either again.
I agreed. Chucky, it's like, it's not one of those I'm going for during Halloween season. I mean, I've seen it several times. I'm good with that, and then the sequel, like, whatever. I mean, Bride of Chucky, obviously, I did think jumped some life back into the series when you added Meg Tilly to it, or Jeff Tilly.
Yeah. It did. Child's Play 2 was actually, in a way, bigger than Child's Play 1, in my opinion. Like, a lot of people, because of the success of the first one, went out and watched that, and a lot of memories people have of it aren't from the first one. A lot of them are from the second one. And then when they went down the road, like you said, when they went the third one, and then by the time they get the Bride of Chucky, they got it back, So, yeah, but I never was really a big fan.
Then it kind of just kept running it into the ground.
You mean kind of like Halloween or any other series?
Halloween, definitely. When you're talking like, let's see, for me, I love the Halloween sequels up to a point, and for various reasons. But once you got past H2O, which I still really liked, was it Halloween Resurrections or Resurrection? I think with fucking when you got Tyra Banks, and shit, what's his name? Buster Rhymes. I'm done, dude. I'm done. Come on. No.
Okay. So you're done, dude. So that's it. We probably, it's not a movie that we would go out and rewatch forever. So there you go. But we don't mind talking about it for you. There are things we like, but things we don't.
I would say it's not a movie I'd rewatch, but I would decorate part of my room that I do with memorabilia from the movie, poster or whatnot. Now, with that last thing, memorabilia, what do you want from this movie?
Oh, I mean, obviously everybody wants Chucky the doll, but but if I had to pick a thing, it would be the good guy hammer.
Yeah, the murder weapon.
The murder weapon, or that knife at the end. That's kind of nice too. That's kind of cool. His murder weapons.
Right. I would say, obviously, yes, Chucky the doll. But only if he was really Charles Lee Ray. I would actually, because I don't know if this is a full thing or not, I would actually want a copy of the Good Guy doll show that he's watching at the beginning.
That would be good.
I don't know if they did like a full... I never even looked that up. I wonder, because, he's watching that clip of the Good Guy show. So I wonder if they did like a whole segment of a show or what. For that.
Or the Good Guy, I wouldn't mind having the Good Guy doll toolkit, I guess. Thinking in that same vein. But the Good Guy toolkit, and then and like you said, that Good Guy video would be nice if they had it. I guess we want everything Good Guy. You and I are fans. We want the pajamas too. Maybe that's what we want. Maybe we really want the pajamas.
This movie is more about the merchandise than it is the fucking movie.
What did I tell you? More style than substance. Proof by what we would do with this movie in our lives now is just decorate something with it, and that's it.
Exactly. So, it's like Insane Clown Posse fans. I want the merchandise.
We would like to thank you for listening. We also want to remind you to join our Patreon so you can get some of that bonus content and other fun stuff. Remember, you can go to sodapopcultureclub.com for all things related to the show, including your chance to make movie suggestions and our episode schedules there as well. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and we have a Twitch channel. Now we want to give you a little tease as to what next week's movie may be that I have already spoiled, so see if you can guess what it is.
Oh, I'm a happy camper. I love the trees and sun. I want to sing that whole song right now, but I can't ruin it.
All right. Okay.
All right.
That's always fun.
Love
Thank
the
you for
summer
listening.
sun. I love
Hey.
the trees and forests. I'm always having fun. Oh, I'm a happy camper. I love the clear sky.
Yeah.
With the grace of God, I camp until I die.